Hello everyone, welcome to TUC Congress, at the end of TUC Congress actually. Delighted to have the President of the TUC with us, CW member, our very own Maria Excel, and obviously once again our Senior Deputy General Secretary, Tony Kearns. Tony, if I can come to you first, usual gig I think, first of all, to talk through the CW contributions today, the moments, and our speakers that have been up at the rostrum.
Yeah, I mean it's a much shorter day, the final day. But it's finished lunchtime, as people would call it. Dinner time if you're from this part of the world. So we finished early, so there's not as much debate goes on in the Wednesday session. But we were able to make two contributions. There was an emergency motion from the rail unions around the issue of ticket office closures, the government's plans to close every single ticket office. And Rob Wotherspoon, who's on our national executive from our Bristol branch, he made a contribution. Our contribution was around how this is going to discriminate against disabled. You know, people who need help when they go to the railway station to buy the right ticket, access to the platform, access onto the train, that type of stuff. And now if you go as ticket officers, that resource isn't there. And you know, we don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't think many people think it's the right thing to do. And so we got up and made the contribution, that we should stop these ticket office closures. The second contribution we made was Andy Fiori, Acting Deputy General Secretary. There was a debate around what we would call cash financial exclusion. So, closure of banks, where everything in terms of paying is by card, on your phone, or through an app. And yet there's millions of people in this country who can't work that technology, don't want to work that technology, and this is a move, the move to a cashless society. And of course, Andy, who's spent a long time being the National Office of Post Office Accounts, has laid out, how many cash transactions are done at post office counters per month, and how you can't afford for that resource to be lost. So, we were making the case that if you want people to be not financially excluded from society, then you have to continue with cash in society. And he was making that case, and the case for maintaining and if not expanding and developing the post office network, which of course is appropriate to us as a CWU.
Thank you, Tony. So, obviously, that's rounding up as Tony's done every day at Congress. All of our delegates who've spoken have done a fantastic job. Maria, I'm going to come to you if I can, because you've been in charge. Is that the right word? You've been running the show, and I think I'll ask Tony to comment in a minute. But we all of the delegation are very proud of the job you've done. You've chaired the Congress fantastically well. But I suppose it'd be we risk of us not to say. Talk us through your experiences. It's an honour to be the TUC president. You've been doing it for a year. Any highlights?
Well, I think being president this year is very significant because we've had the year we've had, which is unprecedented industrial action in our union, but in other unions as well, and unprecedented public support.
Is it your fault then?
Yeah, yes, it is. It's been interesting actually. There have been several internal coordinating meetings within the TUC on this issue. But it is a demonstration of what the trade union movement is about, the solidarity within our own unions, about the membership all sticking together, but also the solidarity across unions and the solidarity we've had with members of the public, all because we've got to fight Tory poverty Britain and the cost of living crisis, basically. I think also another demonstration of solidarity is our response to what the Conservative government's decided to do, which is to bring in more Tory anti-union laws, and that came out of this conference that we're all absolutely resolute. Obviously we oppose all the anti-union laws, but actually on this issue of minimum service levels and the way it might attack individual unions and individual workers, we stand in solidarity to anybody who's affected by that. And that, I think that came out at this conference. I must say, there's a couple of issues I think that were really important. Before I come on to them, just to big up for our own delegation. We were a very active delegation. Tony's been reporting every week, but I'm not saying the others were good as well.
Yeah.
We were even better. No, we were a super delegation, and it was really great. We had people, obviously important, people who represent national positions in the union, but we also had new delegates who got up and spoke, and got up and talked about their experiences at work and what the CW is doing. And I just, from where I was, normally I'd be sitting down there. Where I was, it was really great. We definitely do a credit. All the delegation here has been a credit to the union. I just highlight a few things. We had all the industrial issues and all the different sectors, and it's very interesting listening to issues for people in other sectors, but there were things that went across everything. And I think a theme that we got actually from Paul Novak's really pushing this, a theme about how we also as a union movement need to talk about industrial issues, but talk about taxation and how we need a redistribution of wealth, and that can't be done without a wealth tax or taxing the profits that are being made, and we know that in our sector, don't we?
Yep.
The CEOs getting their bonuses, but actually, the services being to the public being starved. And actually the issue that if we do want to change that, we're going to have to think about being upfront about taxing wealth and saying that the people who are richer need to pay, and ordinary people need to live their lives with more public services, with more money in their pocket, and that's what we're all about, really. So I'd say that's really important, and it is particularly speaking some from the telecom side, when you see the obscene profits in the telecom sector and you see the squeeze on our members, it's just obvious. The other couple of issues, the wider one is about equality. As you know, I'm on the TUC General Council in an equality seat, and that equality was a really big theme of this conference. And it wasn't equality as in all the different issues, which we did cover, but the fact that equality is part of what we all do. Equality is at the heart of the trade union movement. So women and men, black and white, LGBT and straight, people with disability and people without, all being together, we're all union members, and we all respect each other, and we all expect respect from each other.
Absolutely.
And actually we're stronger if we all stick together and don't let people divide us, especially we know the far right are on the march, and we know that they love to use equality issues against each other. So I think there's been that theme at this conference that's been very, very good about us all sticking together. And then the last thing to say about the conference, another theme, is that we are on the verge of the next year is going to be a general election. So there were lots of references to political change. And I mean, there's lots that can be said about that, but I think the key thing for this conference is Labour's New Deal and the promises in that, the commitments in that, actually, that we got as a lot to do with us. We're one of the affiliated unions. We got the commitments from Labour to give us a lot of the rights that we absolutely need, rights at work from day one, but also our rights to organise as union members. And Angela Rayner came and addressed the conference and reaffirmed the commitment of that. And that's obviously something that we look forward to. And I think that's going to be a pressure point over the next few months in the run-up to the general election to ensure Labour sticks to its commitments and that we actually have a change of government that makes a difference to working people. So, I mean, I would see those as sort of the overall themes, if you like. But it's been fascinating hearing. It always is, isn't it, Tony?
Yep.
It's fascinating hearing from the issues, and we have all the people from the creative sector, people who are actors, musicians, and all the things they have to put up with, writers. And there's loads of strike action going on across the world about people doing the creative industry. We think of them as those people who do, but actually they're workers like us, and they have the same experiences we have of not having precarious work, having decent standards of living. So it's that sort of solidarity you get at the TUC, where you realise that people might be working in quite a different job to you, but actually we've got a lot of the same issues, and we all got to stick together. So just leave it at that, really.
That's fantastic, mate. Tony. I don't want to embarrass Maria, but I think pretty appropriate, and I know you'd want to say a few words. I mean, having a CDB member as the president of the TUC is a significant thing for our whole union, and obviously, we'd all agree the way the conference has ran has been excellent. So, what are your reflections on Maria's tenure, if you like?
On the spot, Tony. On the spot.
I mean, on the one hand, if you like, it's a great honour. This is some people call this the Parliament of the working class, if you like, and to be able to preside over that must be it is a real honour and a privilege. But to do it the way Maria did it, I've attended congresses over the years where it can be a bit fractious, it doesn't run smooth, people not sure what's going on, but we had none of that this year. Maria was able to just control the event, I think, in a very professional manner. But I think more than just the last 3.5 days, I think it's the way Maria's been the president for the past year. We're living through unprecedented times in people refer to as a cost of living crisis. It's actually a cost of greed crisis that the working class is suffering from. Areas of the working class that haven't fought back in my lifetime. Taking strikes, haven't undergone ballots, beating the anti-trade unions and taking strikes. You know, and Maria is present, as she's just said, to be able to have some kind of overseeing role and coordinating role in making sure that those strikes are successful and workers get what they want, I think is, as we've seen, pat on the back, so I'll pat you on the back.
Thank you, Tony.
So there you go, Maria.
Thank you.
Pay you later.
Yeah,
Any final sort of roundup thoughts for you, Maria? I mean, more challenges, back into the CW, back into TUC
absolutely.
General Counsel. The work starts really after this, isn't it?
You know, we've had. I mean, I know that. I mean, well, the cost of living stuff's going to carry on. The pressure on wages, and the Tories are in there. They're still, I think I said in my speech, even though we know they're in their death throes, they are still damaging people's lives. So we still have to defend our members. I suppose one of the things you have to do, strange things as a president, is think of a slogan on your badge.
What was yours? Come on, let's have a
My
look.
slogan is unity,
Yeah.
which is what we need. We know unity is strength. It's a big trade union principle. Unity is strength, an injury to one is an injury to all. Solidarity, which I said I think we've seen the practical expression of, and we know that that's the basics. That's what the glue that holds our whole movement together. And also, if we are united and if we have solidarity, we can have victories for our members and for all working class people.
I mean, it's brilliant, great note to finish. Tony, we've been rounding up these events now, straight into it tomorrow. Back to the day job, industrial challenges, political challenges, campaigning challenges, internal challenges. Any final reflections from you on the week at TUC?
Yeah, and I think we alluded to it. You know, within the next 12 months-ish, there's going to be a general election. And the Tories know they're finished. They know they're gone. They know they're not going to form the next government. And it's almost like they're burning down a house but grabbing all the valuables on their way out. There's going to be nothing left for the rest of us, and so it's our job as the organised working class, to stand up to that, to limit that damage for the next 12 months, but then keep the pressure on what appears will be a Labour government, to deliver for workers, to deliver on the promises that they stand up and say, which is welcome to hear, but it's easy to say. Yeah, it's much more difficult to put into practice, and our job will be to make sure that they do that, and so as you say, the day job has been carrying on while we've been down here this week. We pick it up again tomorrow, and we'll pick it up again until we're at TUC Congress next year, which might well be under a new government.
Let's hope so. Thank you firstly to you, Tony. We enjoyed our chats at the end of the day. See you in a couple of weeks at Labour for the same again. And Maria, thank you for joining us today, but well done to you as well from all of us at the CW. Brilliant. And to the members, or most important, even more important than these guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you all soon.